Hello and welcome back to KXAN Plus. I am your host, Esmeralda Zamora, and today we have an update from the Austin Police Department on the triple homicide that happened late yesterday afternoon in North Austin. Some of the details that we know from yesterday is there was an incident near Research Boulevard's Target in North Austin. In the parking lot area, there were 3 individuals who were pronounced deceased and 1 other that was injured. A 32-year-old male, was arrested in this investigation. So far, the information that we know is, or that Austin police know, is that there was an arrest made, and the suspect arrested was Ethan Nienker, a white male, 32 years of age. On Monday, August 11th at approximately 2:15 p.m., officers responded to calls of multiple shootings at the Target parking lot of Research Boulevard northbound. Officers arrived to find a male victim in the parking lot. He was transported to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead. Officers also located a family, a grandfather and his 4-year-old granddaughter, who were both pronounced deceased on the scene, and the grandmother, who sustained minor injuries. It looks like our chief of police is already speaking, so let's go ahead and listen into this press conference.
Machuca, Adam Chow, and his 4-year-old granddaughter. Those were the lives we lost yesterday. There are no words that can truly capture the grief these families are experiencing or the shock our community feels. To our officers and first responders who rushed to the scene and rendered aid under such tragic circumstances, thank you. I know the sights you faced yesterday will never leave you, but your compassion and your courage do not go unnoticed. What happened yesterday was an unprovoked and deliberate attack, a deliberate act of violence. Innocent lives were taken in broad daylight in a place where people should feel safe to run their everyday errands and to live their everyday lives. The actions of the suspect showed a complete disregard for human life, and the pain caused will be felt by our community for years to come. The suspect in this has been identified as Ethan Nienker, a white male, 32 years of age. Nienker has a history with the Austin Police Department, which includes assault causing bodily injury to a family member, driving while intoxicated, possession of marijuana, violation of a protective order, and 2 mental health reports. We know this incident has left many of you feeling shaken within our community, but I want to reassure everyone here that the suspect is now in custody, and at this point, we'll let justice take its course. I want to thank the community members who took time and who acted quickly, who called 911, provided witness statements, understanding that they were inside Target, came out. We had many witnesses who were there that stayed for hours to help assist us, so I want to thank them. Our department is fully committed to seeking justice for these victims and their families, and this will remain a top priority for us as we move forward. Every question has to be answered, and every charge will be pursued that is within the law. In times like this, we must come together as a community to support the families who are grieving and to lift each other up and stand together united against violence. I'm going to now turn it over to Sergeant Sexton from our homicide unit to go over details of this incident. Sergeant.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Chief Davis. My name is Nathan Sexton. I'm one of the 2 homicide sergeants. Yesterday on Monday, August 11th, at approximately 2:15 p.m., officers responded to multiple calls of 911 shooting at the Target at 8601 Research Boulevard. When officers arrived, they found Target employee Hector Martinez Machuca suffering from gunshot wounds. He was transported to the hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. Nearby, officers located Adam Chow, his wife, and their 4-year-old granddaughter. Mr. Chow and the child had been fatally shot, and Mr. Chow's wife had sustained minor injuries. Our investigation showed that the suspect, Ethan Nienker, first shot Mr. Martinez Machuca as he was collecting carts in the parking lot. He then approached Chow's family vehicle, shooting and killing Mr. Chow, and the 4-year-old before assaulting Mrs. Chow and stealing their gray Toyota 4Runner. Over the next hour, Nineker committed multiple crimes, including attempting to steal a water truck, causing multiple crashes, assaulting another female driver, and stealing her Volkswagen. He also attempted to break into a Waymo vehicle, vandalized the home of an acquaintance, and was later seen naked in a residential backyard. Officers ultimately located him walking on Montclair Street. After refusing commands, he was tased and taken into custody at 3:06 p.m. As for the charges, Nineker has been charged with 2 counts of capital murder for the deaths of Adam Chow and the 4-year-old juvenile victim, as well as the first-degree felony murder of Hector Martinez Machuca. Additional charges are pending related to assaults, vehicle thefts, and property damage. This case is being investigated as Austin's 39th, 40th, and 41st homicide of 2025. We are asking for anyone who has additional information. We know there are many people out there who may have recorded this, taken photos, any digital evidence. Right behind here, Chief, sorry. There's a QR code. We're asking anyone that has witness accounts, video footage, please contact APD at 512-974-TIPS. You may also submit the tips anonymously to the Capital Area Crime Stoppers or crimestoppers.org, or by calling 512-472-8477, or by using the QR code here displayed.
Raise your hand for questions. Okay, we'll start with Betty, then go to Kelsey.
Do you know how he got the weapons he used, or if he had a license for those weapons?
I don't know about the license. The firearm was acquired through family.
Kelsey and then Angela.
Can you explain, I know you said he started off in Research Boulevard and Target, and then he made his way carjacking multiple people and ended up in South Austin. How were you guys able to track him properly and get a hold of him in the neighborhood?
Initially, we weren't sure that it was the same person. There were no other shots fired after the initial Target incident, as far as we know. But from there, we were able to find surveillance video at multiple scenes. He was wearing the same floral Hawaiian shirt at all of these
I
scenes.
can answer a little bit of this too, Nate.
Sure.
I think it's also important to recognize, as these events were unfolding, people were calling 911. We also had our air support in the air who was able to find the car and follow the car at that point.
Was any flock safety cameras used at all?
We no longer have flock safety cameras.
Let's go to Angela, and then we'll go to the camera over here.
Did the suspect, give any reason as to why he did this, what his motive may have been?
He said that he was Jesus, and there was really no reason whatsoever given. It was a completely random choosing of the victims.
Camera here.
Gosh, so I guess going off of that, what's the basis that the department says the suspect has a history of mental illness? I know that's a phrase that was used yesterday, that he has a history of mental illness. What was kind of the thing that was based on that, and if you could tell us more about that history?
I think looking at his record and APD's involvement with him, I don't want to get into specifics at this point because we are talking about medical. But again, I can say that as far as the victims he chose, those were random, but this man had some serious issues. And I think about the systems that failed. In a way, as we move forward, we're looking at this background, and again, this is going to be things that are going to be coming up in the months and the years ahead. There were some serious failures here on behalf of, many when you're looking at potentially some mental illness there.
So we'll go to Eva, and then up here.
I just wondering if there were any recent welfare checks, and also I had heard Senator Eckhart say today that he was found naked and holding a Bible, and wondered if you could comment on that.
That is when officers approached him, and he was tased at that point and taken into custody.
And then any recent welfare checks?
I don't recall any that I saw.
Up here, and then Adrian.
Can you confirm if he was employed before this incident, and if there was anybody that was concerned about his behavior prior to this? I talked to somebody that knew him that said that he was acting kind of out of the normal before this.
Nathan, did you want to answer that? Nothing. Yeah.
Now, the people are very scared of these type of incidents. What you are doing for preventing these type of things when the people are going crazy with a gun?
Well, I think, you have to look at this, and we've got someone with some serious mental health issues, and where are we able to take them? What help are they getting when you're dealing with someone with these issues? Where does someone with this capacity to do this get a weapon, and when does a family member feel comfortable giving someone with these issues a weapon?
Go to Mario, and then we'll head back over here.
With the criminal history that he has, a lot of people are asking how was he wandering in the street, like how he wasn't part of the criminal justice, why was he free?
Yeah, I think looking at his record, I don't think we had any incidents with him. I think 2024 was the last contact we had, and that was him calling for some found property that he was turning over to us. I have not had an opportunity, and I don't know that Nathan has from Homicide, an opportunity to delve into his history here and what each case, where that developed from.
Go over here, and then we'll go back to you.
Yeah, you guys said, you know, when you found him, it was a family member's gun. Did you guys end up recovering that weapon? Do you have any other details on that weapon specifically?
We do, yes. So I'd mentioned he had crashed out that gray 4Runner, and it was recovered in that vehicle before he switched and then proceeded to assault other people without a gun.
Do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't, that's unknown at this time. We're still collecting all the information, but it's believed the only shots fired were at the target.
And piggybacking on that, could the family face any charges for allowing this weapon to get into his hands? Or, I don't know all the details of it, but what could we see there?
Sure, unknown. We still have to investigate that.
We'll go here in the red and then up here.
Yeah, sorry, that was gonna be my question, is whether or not the family member would be held accountable, or if there will be any accountability for the person who gave him that gun.
Sure, like I said, we still have to look into it.
And on the history of mental health, are you guys aware of a specific diagnosis that he has received over time? And at any point, did he receive treatment? Was he ever put somewhere for treatment? Any more light on that? Because you said, Chief, you mentioned that the system failed. I'm just trying to get a better understanding of what part of the system actually failed.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about the past incidents that we had with him on mental health runs, and where is the follow-up there? And for someone to have the capacity to take the life of 3 innocent people and a 4-year-old child. As we move forward and are looking more into this, it will be interesting to kind of peel that back and see where those failures took place.
But is there a specific diagnosis?
There is not that I'm aware of, no.
We'll go to Kelsey, then in the green, then you go down
Can you
here.
tell us what kind of gun he had on him?
You want the gun?
I don't remember the exact type. It was a handgun pistol.
Status of the people who were carjacked, like injured or their cars, what can you tell us about that?
Assault with injury, so like the driver of the water truck was assaulted. He's, okay, it was relatively minor injury. Obviously trauma, like someone jumps in your vehicle. I think there's probably going to be more lasting injury from that.
And the Volkswagen?
Same thing, assaulted physically, but and thrown from the vehicle as well.
Take a few more, let's go to Eva, then do we have a question in the back here? And then we'll go back over here.
There was recently a bill passed through the legislature banning red flag enforcement of guns, you know, basically keeping an anti-red flag ban is what it was. And I know that that hasn't gone into effect yet, but I'm curious if this has you concerned about, you know, Austin's ability to keep guns away from people who maybe shouldn't have them.
Well, I think I need to learn more about this instance, right? And was this gun handed to him? How was this given, before I make any type of statement like that?
Do you know if he was on any drugs at the time? And then
Do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
The press release mentioned something about him throwing a brick in someone's window from his Bible study. Do you know more about how that was called in and more about the Bible study connection there?
Sure, we're still looking into the drug portion of it. He could have been under the influence of narcotics. It might not necessarily be all attributed to mental illness, so we're still investigating all of that. The brick through the window was called in by somebody he had known who had claimed to have had Bible study with him in the past. So he recognized him and just called, you know, his window being vandalized, and then he left that scene and proceeded to move on.
We'll do here, Betty, and then finish here.
Yeah, Target told us to ask you guys any questions as regards to their situation. They told me today that the store is closed. Do you guys have any timeline as to when that Target will reopen?
We do not know. As soon as we clear the scene, which we did last night, it was in their custody, so we're not holding it for any other reason, so it's up to them as to when they were to reopen.
Oh, can you elaborate the timeline when you said that he tried to steal the water truck, couldn't start it, and then he just got to the trailer where the child's were in?
Yes. So tell me the specific incidents, the times you're looking for.
Yeah, so the water truck, before he got to the 4Runner, he didn't start the truck.
So the water truck was at about 2:20 p.m. and then the Volkswagen 2:25.
Was it because he couldn't start that truck? And
Correct. He's there's video of it, and he's sitting there trying to start it, and you can tell that he cannot operate the vehicle.
Let's go to Betty, and we'll finish out over here.
Do you feel like flock safety cameras would have helped even more? I know y'all were quick in what you did, but would have helped even more in the pursuit of him?
Yes, I'm a big fan of the and maybe not flock camera, definitely a fan of the LPR and what that can do. And when you're looking at violent crimes such as this, it absolutely helps in the apprehension. Yes.
And what do we know about the suspect? Did he live alone? Did he live with family? What kind of job did he do? Was he able to, was he functioning, you know, if you came across him on any given day, would you think he's a properly functioning person?
From what I heard, he worked at a restaurant nearby and lived alone. And that's as far as I know about him.
Thanks. And we'll do one more from Angela.
Okay. When somebody has a mental health hold placed on them, how does that affect them? I mean, what's the process when you come across them?
So the process for the police department, we're called to either a suspected mental issue. Officers respond, they talk to the person, and if in their opinion they do need medical help, they are then transported and a hold is put on them. An emergency detention hold is placed, I believe up to 72 hours.
Thanks, guys. We're going to reset for Spanish. So if you want to stay, you're more than welcome. If not, we'll start Spanish in about 5 minutes. So you guys are to exit this way.
We have to say.
All right, so we just heard from the chief of police as well as others involved in the investigation. I'm going to give a brief recap as to what they said. They mentioned that on Monday, August 11th, around 2:15, the Austin Police Department responded to multiple shootings at the Target parking lot on Research Boulevard. Officers found 3 victims: a Target employee, Hector Leopoldo Martinez Machuca, 38 years old, shot while collecting carts; Adam Chow, 66 years old, shot in his car; and Chow's 4-year-old granddaughter also shot in the car. Machuca later died at the hospital. Chow and his granddaughter died at the scene, and Chow's wife was also injured at the scene. Police say the suspect, 32-year-old Ethan Nienker, randomly opened fire, stole vehicles, and assaulted multiple people in a violent spree lasting under an hour. The incidents included attempted carjackings, a multiple vehicle crash, and a break-in attempt on a Waymo vehicle. Nienker was arrested at 3:06 p.m. after being found naked and non-compliant with officers. He faces 2 counts of capital murder and 1 count of first-degree murder. All of this information is going to be on our website, kxen.com. You can find that on the homepage, and all other information that we receive will be updated in that article as well. I'm going to go ahead and repeat all of this information in Spanish for our Spanish speakers. Voy a repetir toda la información que pasó en este incidente en español para nuestra comunidad de habla hispana. El lunes 11 de agosto, alrededor de las 2:15 de la tarde, la policía de Austin respondió a varios tiroteos en el estacionamiento de Target en Research Boulevard. Los agentes encontraron 3 víctimas: Héctor Leopoldo Martínez Machuca, de 38 años, empleado de Target, que recibió un disparo mientras recogía carritos; Adam Chow, de 66 años, que recibió un disparo en su coche; y la nieta de Chow, de 4 años, que también recibió un disparo en el coche. Machuca falleció más tarde en el hospital, y Chow y su nieta murieron en el lugar de los hechos. La esposa de Machuca resultó heridas, y la policía afirma que el sospechoso Ethan Nienker, de 32 años, abrió fuego al azar, robó vehículos y agredió a varias personas en una violenta racha que duró más de 1 hora. Los incidentes incluyeron intentos de robo de coches, un accidente múltiple y un intento de robo en vehículo Waymo. Nienker fue detenido tras ser encontrado desnudo y sin cooperar con los agentes. Se enfrenta a 2 cargos de asesinato capital y 1 cargo de asesinato en primer grado. Los agentes dijeron que cuando encontraron a Nienker desnudo, lo encontraron con una Biblia en la mano, diciendo que creía que era Jesús. Estos detalles los vamos a tener en nuestra página web, kxen.com. Lo puedes encontrar en la primera página de esa página, y toda la información que recibimos lo vamos a incluir en esa página también, para si quieres encontrar más información. Again, we will have all of these details on our website, kxen.com, with all of the latest information that we receive being updated on that article on our homepage. Thank you so much for joining us.